Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. This is episode 11 of my podcast where I like to talk things all thing yarn and knitting and crochet. Mostly crochet, but I do a little bit more knitting than I used to as well. And I'm going to remember to do all the introduction bits first today. So you can find me on Ravelry. I'm Helen Brown Crochet. And you can also find me on Instagram. I am Crochet Moments. I think there's a dot in between crochet and moments. I shall find out and stick it on the screen somewhere around my head. Apologies if the table that my camera is on wobbles. I've got Catherine in the living room with me. She's lay on the floor playing Sims. Do you want to say hello?
Hi.
You probably heard her. You didn't see her. She's playing Sims 4. Which is her computer game of choice at the moment. So yes, it's been what a week. What a week. The girls were supposed to be starting school on Tuesday, and then on Monday Boris Johnson, our beloved Prime Minister, closes the schools. Luckily, as a bank employee, I work as actually in a branch helping customers face to face, so we're classed as critical workers. So I've been able to have both girls take up critical worker places in school at the moment, although there's been a few ums and ahs about that, so I don't know if they will still be in school by the time I film in 2 weeks' time. It's been a freezing cold week as well. We've had lows of -4, -5 this week, and that's very, very cold for the UK. Well, for my bit of the UK, I live in Leicester, which is in the east of the middle bit of the country. If you're not familiar with the UK, we are a little bit north east of Birmingham, which is one of our major cities. The living room door moved. I don't know if that means I'm about to be invaded by Emily as well. Anyway, today I am wearing one of my long ago finished objects. I don't know who designed this. It's a sweater that I got the Patterning Crochet Now magazine. So you've got this lovely cable here. And that was hard work to do. That was really hard work to do, and it is done in Caron Simply Soft. Now this was pre swatching, Helen. I now remember to swatch just about anything that I'm going to wear, either knitting or crochet, and before I didn't do that, and it's a little bit on the tight side. It's a little bit short, and I didn't notice when I was making the sleeves that the sleeves are short too. But it's quite a nice cosy jumper, although the neckline's a little bit high for comfort. Because this Caron Simply Soft is actually quite a stiff yarn. It didn't feel too stiff as I was crocheting with it, but as it's been worn a few times, it just feels a little bit tight around my neck. So I don't know if I'm going to continue wearing this after I filmed. I might have to change. But yeah, so this is a finished object of the past. I have no finished objects of the present. I'm working on a lot of things. I have changed the way I work on my projects a little bit. I was using a decision wheel to choose my projects day by day. So like today I'd be working on one thing and tomorrow it could be something else. And I was finding that some of my whips weren't coming up as often as I would have liked, so there wasn't as much progress being made on them. So instead I dug out one of my notepads. I love notepads. Show me a crafter that doesn't like notepads. I have at least 4 on the go for various different things. So I've decided that this one is going to be my project planner schedule. So what I have done is I've sat down, worked out my whips, and I've written a date. It's almost like a diary. I could have bought a diary, but I already had a notepad. So I've written them down. So every other day I will be knitting and crocheting in between. I do have more crochet projects than knit projects at the moment. I want to get that down. I want 3 to 4 crochet whips and 2 knitting whips, and I currently have 6 crochet whips and 2 knitting whips. So yes, and then every day I tick that I've done it, and then I just pop a little note about what progress I've made on that particular whip that day, which has been really helpful in my preparations for today's podcast. So it's not been so long since I last filmed, but I'm back onto my 2 weekly schedule now because I was a little bit late with the last one. And yes, so it's just works in progress with a little tiny bit of incoming, but the incoming is to die for, absolutely beautiful. But we'll get onto that later. So let's get my other notebook out. So this one is my notes for my show. I love this one. It's just got beautiful flowers. It's just one I bought from Sainsbury's not long after I started filming, actually, a podcast, my podcasts. I wanted somewhere that I could note down the things that I wanted to talk about, and just because I kept forgetting to mention things, so as you do. So let's move on to my works in progress. So the first thing I've got to show you is in this really nice jute bag, and I don't actually remember where I got this from. I think it might have been one of the bags that some yarn came in from my mum's stash. I got my mum's stash after she passed away, and which I'm so crikey. Oh, I'm all tangled up, yarn tangled up with the handles, and basically most of it came to me in one of the big blue IKEA bags, and a couple of bits came in a few other bags, and I think this had, if I remember right, I think it had a ball of navy blue Aran yarn, one of the big giant balls. Anyway, I digress, as I always do. I always go off topic. Right, okay, I'm going to try and keep today under an hour. Let's see how I do. So this was supposed to have been a Christmas gift for my husband's mum. She really likes donkeys. So I found this pattern, this free pattern of this lovely little donkey. So you can do them in 2 sizes. If you use an Aran weight yarn, you get the larger donkey, and I'm using DK weight, which is giving me the smaller size donkey. I'm not the best at amigurumi. I love the look of amigurumi. The actual crochet part I can do, no problem. I enjoy doing it. It's really easy to do. It's just double crochets round and round and round for the most part. But it's when I put them together, the stuffing, I either overstuff or understuff. I can't seem to get that right. So and then the putting together, the putting together is, if anybody can recommend any websites or tutorials, anything that I can go look at and explore some different methods to improve my amigurumi work. So far I've got a head finished. So the lighter grey is a Stylecraft yarn, and the darker grey, I don't think I've still got the yarn stand in here. No. The darker grey is actually one of my mum's old stash, and it's actually a vintage Wendy DK. So it does have a small amount of wool in it, if I remember rightly from the ball band. I've got some more upstairs actually. I should have brought one of those down so I could have a look at the ball band. I just thought it was in here. So the reason I haven't got very far, oh, here's the body. Yes, the reason I haven't got very far is because I ran out of the grey, the lighter grey. So I needed to get another ball, and I didn't want to just throw an order together for Wool Warehouse with some random yarns. I've got lots of yarn at the moment, and Simon would not have appreciated more yarn purchases at the moment. So I thought I'll wait until the next time I need to order something, and if it ends up a birthday present, then it's a birthday present. It's her birthday in April, and it will definitely be done by then. I next work on it on Saturday, so that's tomorrow. I'm filming on Friday the 8th of January. He said December then. So yes, I had to buy another ball of Stylecraft for the grey, although obviously they're a little bit different. Ever so slightly. It's noticeably different. They are the same colours. I bought this Stylecraft grey about a year and a half ago. And yeah, so here's I'm not sure that I've stuffed the body. It's to my hands, it just feels a little too squishy. I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know. I know a couple of you that watch regularly do make amigurumis on a regular basis, so any tips that you have. What have I done with the head? Oh, it's on the floor. Sorry, donkey. So I've just used safety eyes for the eyes for this, although it does say you can use buttons. I don't have any dark coloured buttons at the moment though, so, and with all the shops closed because we're in full lockdown. Yes. So that is that pattern. Let's put the pattern back in the bag. So that's one of the things I've been working on since I last filmed. And the next thing is my Hummingbird cardigan. This is from my Crochet Now magazine, as most of my patterns are. I keep seeing patterns on Ravelry, but I have to talk myself out of buying them because I already have a list the length of my arm of things I want to make for myself or for my children or for friends and family. So this is what it should look like. I haven't done the multiple contrast colours on there. I've just gone for the one contrast, and I actually quite like the way it's looking. So this is designed by Blazenka Simic Boro, and she is on Ravelry. I'm not sure if this I can't remember if this pattern is on Ravelry. Did I write it down? Just a sec, Simon wants to come in. I'm back. Emily had forgotten her dolly. So this is my notebook that I'm using for tracking my projects for finishes, so I can keep a track of what I'm still working on. And I haven't written down if it's a paid pattern now. I did link it underneath my last podcast, so I will look that up and pop it under this one. All of the patterns that I talk about today are linked underneath my video, so you're more than welcome. Also, any of the retailers that I buy from, there may have been another hand-dyed yarn purchase, which I am completely in love with. Anyway, Hummingbird. So I have finished the back. This feels like it's getting bigger and bigger. Again, this is pre-swatching, Helen. I have learned my lesson. I am going to swatch things because this is huge. So this is a block stitch pattern. So it's a 6, I think it's a 6-row repeat. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so it's about 6-row repeat, and it just creates this lovely sort of diamond pattern in blocks. And here's the contrast colours. So this is the back, which is 2 of me wide. Now I made this in the large because I am on the larger side. Sometimes a medium is just a little bit too small, so I always like something with a little bit of room to maneuver, and I've gone from too small to too big. And the yarn I'm using for this is Starcraft Life DK, and I've gone for, this is just the regular Starcraft Life DK in Heather, which is a really nice colour. I really enjoy working this with this Starcraft Life DK. It is a 100%, is it 100% acrylic? Oh no, it's 75% acrylic and 25% wool, and it's really nice to work with, really, really nice. I would definitely be working with this again. And the main colour, I've gone for the vintage look, which is in the colourway Indigo. And it's always good when you're getting close to the end of a pattern and you're getting to the end of your wool. So I've got 2 full, oh crikey, the ball band's come off that one. 2 full skeins of the vintage with some little bits there, and then I have this much of the contrast, which will hopefully be enough for the contrast on the sleeves. And I believe the contrast is on the, oh no, it's not, I thought the contrast was on the border going around the whole thing too, but it's not. Phew. It's all I can say to that. So this is with a 5mm hook, and I showed this last time. It's just my basic cheapy one, which I bought in a set from the range when I was fairly new to crochet, and this set's done me really well. I really enjoy using these hooks. My favourite hooks to use at the moment are the Crochet Society hooks, which I have one more to come before I have my last box. So never mind. So yes, so there's my hummingbird, and I can't wait to get it finished now. It's getting so close to being finished. I'm working on it. When am I working on it next? On Wednesday, next Wednesday. And I think, barring, I'm trying to fold it all up and I'm matching the wrong ends. Barring any major distractions, next Wednesday evening after the children have gone to bed, I think I could get the next side done, the left side, because that's how much is on the right side. It is literally 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats, and it's not across too many stitches, so I might even get started on the sleeves time. So by the time you see this next, I might even be getting close to a finish, which would be really nice, because I feel like I've been working on it forever now and I just want it finished. I want to wear it because I love the colours, I love the yarn, and I just want to wear it. So what's my next one that I'm going to show? Ooh, my Scheepjes. So yes, so Scheepjes is back into the rotation, and I worked on this last night for a little bit. And because we're at the stage now where the rounds are really, really, really long, I didn't get a lot done. I got 1.5 rounds done. So let's find a bit that shows what the second round is. So I just got, so this row here, which is just a row of half trebles or half double crochets, depending what terminology you use. And then this row is just the some back post trebles or back post double crochets if you use the US terms. So just remind you what it looks like. So again, I absolutely have really loved working on this. This is a free pattern and it's available on the Scheepjes website. It's their 2020 crochet along. Its title is d'Histoire Naturelle and it's inspired by the Natural History Museum in Paris. And each part, you get a little part of the story of the visit. So if we go to part 1. So in part 1, just on the information, so it quotes from the book. This is was also a read along. Between the laboratories, warehouses, 4 separate public museums, the menagerie, the greenhouses, the acres of medicinal and decorative gardens in the Jardin des Plantes, and a dozen gates and pavilions, her father estimates there are 12,000 locks in the entire museum complex. And that is from the book. Remind myself, does it tell me what the book is here? I can't remember the title of the book. I think it's something like All the Light We Cannot See. I don't know why I have that in my head. I could be wrong. But it's not a book that I have picked up. Oh, you're going to bed, my darling? Oh, okay. I'll see you in a few minutes then. It's Catherine sneaking off to the loo. Oh dear. Yeah, so it doesn't actually say on here. But it's just, this has been an absolute joy to work on. Even the ridiculously difficult bits of these corners, I enjoyed doing them. I'm not going to enjoy sewing in all the ends that I didn't do as I was going along, which I'm going to next time. I did with this one. So this is my Rosetta. This was like this is the 2019 CAL, and I really like this. This has come in handy over the last few days when it's been chilly. We've been sitting under it, Simon and I, while we watch TV in the evenings when I've not been crocheting or knitting. So that's my Scheepjes. And so the designer for that, I can't remember if I said, is Christina Hadderingh, and she is a Spoonful of Yarn and she's got a blog, and she's quite a prolific designer. There's loads of designs on her site that are really pretty that I really want to do. More things to add to my wish list of things to make, but I'm trying to be good. I'm trying. So my next whip, let's show you my Crochet Society Advent CAL. So, in case you didn't know, a CAL is a crochet along. So yes, I have a love-hate relationship with this project. I love the pattern. I hate the yarn with a passion. And I'm really sorry to say it. So the yarn was in the Crochet Society Advent Calendar, and it is Confection DK, and we got all these 33 gram balls of this acrylic yarn, which it is nice and soft, and the colours are gorgeous. You'll see when I pick the blanket up. The colours are absolutely gorgeous, but the yarn is just so splitty. I don't know if you can see, but as you crochet with it, it untwists and the hook just goes right into the twists. So I've not been enjoying working with the yarn, but I have been enjoying the pattern. So I don't know whether or not I might make this with a different yarn, maybe upsize it a little bit as well. It's going to be a little bit small. It is a blanket, supposed to be a blanket. I would probably describe it more as a lap blanket than something you could maybe have on the sofa to snuggle under as a pair. But here is the blanket so far. So each stripe of colour is a day's project. So I was here the last time I showed it, and I had an evening on it the other night, and I've got all the way up to here. So I can't remember what part I'm on now. Easy to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. I'm on day 15. So each stage has a different pattern, although we're getting to the stage now where it's starting to repeat. I did cheat a little bit on, I think it was on this grey here. So this grey was actually supposed to be this ridge stitch from down here, and these are worked in the third loop of half trebles, and I just couldn't face it. With how much the yarn split, it was just too much to work on, too much. So instead I just did a couple of rows of back post half trebles instead, and I think it still looks fine. I hated that ridge stitch with this yarn. I've done third loop stitches before, and it doesn't bother me all that much. This yarn. So I really enjoy the mosaic stages. So we've got some inset mosaic here and here and here, and then we've got some overlay crochet here, and the same pattern is coming through up here. So the difference being, with inset crochet you are crocheting one row down and into a skipped stitch, and the overlay you're actually crocheting into the front loop of a back loop stitch. But I really like the effect of both of them, they're really pretty. But I do quite enjoy mosaic crochet. I really like how it creates a nice fabric of colour without. With tapestry crochet, I find that my tension is too tight as I'm carrying the yarn. So with mosaic you don't have that carrying. You work one row and 2 rows in one colour, and then 2 rows in the next colour, overlay, doing the stitches down to create this sort of stack. There is a blanket pattern that I have that I want to start working on this year. So once I've got my Scheepjes done, I might treat myself to the yarn for it and start that blanket. It's a Christmas themed mosaic blanket, crochet blanket, and I really want to have a go at it because I enjoy mosaic, oh excuse me, so much. I had a rather large dinner. My next project, let's ship my socks in my Amelia X bag. I love these pussycats, although these socks might find themselves in another project bag shortly, which means I might have to find a project to go in here. Don't tell Simon. I'm not allowed to any new starts until I finish something. Once I finish something, I'm allowed to start something. I think it's getting a bit too much for him, having all these bags of works in progress lying around. And I'm sure if he does edit some of my videos for me, and I know when he's going to be watching this back and he's heard me say that, he'll be nodding. I see you, Simon, you're nodding. So these socks are the Hermiones Everyday Socks, and these are by Erica Lueder of Dreams in Fibre, and I love these socks. These are really nice to work on, really nice to work on. So I am knitting them, if I can find the ball band down here. Knitting them in the Starcraft All Stars Head Over Heels, and it's in the Saltaire colourway, and it's a 75 superwash wool, 25% nylon, and this is a really good budget sock yarn. It's about £5 for 100 grams. I think that's what I paid for it. It was on sale, so I think it's usually about £6, but it's sock yarn. It's not too bad a price for sock yarn. So that's the brand, and this is the sort of swatch on the band. Now, as I was splitting the ball to knit my socks, I think I did something wrong when I was trying to get the colours to match, because they don't match. These are not matching socks, but I don't care. They are socks, and I am knitting them. These are my third ever pair of socks. These ones I'm knitting on my short circular knit prosings, and I've lost my fancy, I've lost my stitch marker. I wonder if that's in my bag. Oh dear. I'll have to find it out later. Anyway, so this is where I am on one sock. So since you last saw this, I've finished the heel, and I've done the gusset on this one. So this one's all ready to go for the foot, and this one I've been storing my yarn inside my sock, so then when I work on it I just squeeze it and the sock falls down. Okay, so and then this one I've started working on the foot. So I've done about 5 sets of pattern repeats on the main part of the sock, main foot of the sock rather, and my girl's favourite stitch marker at the moment. Oh, that's the wrong way around. It's the donut. They love that. So yes, so that's my socks at the moment. And when I finish these, I'm going to be working on the sock pattern that I got with my Christmas Eve box from Knit Me Sane. And pattern. I always finish filming a podcast and keep finding sheets of patterns everywhere. And then I thought, oh, which project bag's that in? Alright, so I'm just my camera keeps freezing again, so I'm just going to stop and restart again, and hopefully that will stop that happening. Yes, hopefully I caught that in time. I don't know what is going on with my phone lately, but I have a mirror just behind so that I can see on the screen, thankfully, because it keeps freezing me. Perhaps it's It's a way of telling me, stop wittering on and get on with it. So in my, this is my Primark toiletry bag that I bought. I bought a set of 3 of these for £10 to use as project bags. My other 2 bags are currently being used to store some of my hand-dyed yarns in. I need to get a proper bag for those, or a little box or something. So in here is my current sweater project that I'm knitting. Let's get it out. And this is tonight's project, so I can leave this one out. I don't have to put it back in the bag because I'll be knitting on it as soon as I'm done chatting to you. Okay, so let's get the picture. So this is what it's going to look like. This is the Owl Post Pullover designed by Joan Forgione. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So who knows? I'm rubbish with names, which is really hilarious working in a bank. Some of the mistakes I make. And this is how far I've got. And this time I'm going to remember to put a stitch marker in because I can't remember. I don't think I was far. I think I was only about this far in last time. But I've got, how many repeats? I've done about 3 or 4 repeats now of the cable panel. So what happens there is it's joined, and I go to picking stitches up in the round, knitting the yoke, and then knitting the bottom, and then knitting the sleeves. And I'm looking forward to when I'm just knitting. I do enjoy cable. So here's the pattern a little bit closer up. And this one, I am knitting this in the Aldi Aran yarn in forest green. It's, oh crikey, I can't remember what percentage wool it's got in it. I think it's an 80-20. I think it's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. But here it is. So it's getting there. It's going to wrap all the way around my chest, round my back before I get the yoke. And I am really enjoying working on it. It's a challenging knit, but it's not so challenging that I can't still watch TV while I work on it. So that is all of my whips that I've made progress on. I've got a couple of other things that I haven't really done much to. My Crochet Society box whip, I ripped back, I frogged it. I was making the scarf that came in box 19. Was it 19? No, 18. Box 18. I'm getting mixed up with the numbers. I just didn't enjoy. After I'd made it long enough, I wasn't liking the stitch, and the it had almost like a box stitch, similar to the Hummingbird, but that section wasn't lying flat like everything else. And I don't know if it was a tension issue or just a pattern issue. I'm not sure. So I'm put that yarn in my stash, and I will be looking for something lovely to make with it, because that yarn was lovely, because that was the Stylecraft Heathers. I'm wanting to say Stylecraft Heathers, but I could be wrong. Anyway, incoming. Well, one of the purchases that I needed to make, which enabled me to get my grey for my donkey amigurumi, was some more needles. So I bought some needle shanks for my interchangeables. I bought some 3.25s because if you're going to do any knitting with a DK weight yarn, you're going to need a 3.25 it's usually for something with the ribbing, and then a 3.75 because I have a pattern ready to go that will take that size needle. I also bought yeah. Excuse me. That's my little, I've got a little shelf unit there that we bought so that I can keep all my loveliness there. So where's it gone? Also bought a 2.75 fixed circular because the interchangeables don't go down that size. They don't go below a 3mm needle. So these are a 60cm 2.75, and these are for my next knit start, which is going to be a summer top for Catherine. So I look forward to being able to use that, and also because I was hoping to get it under the tree on Christmas Day, but I got lots of other loveliness instead. I treated myself to, and it's buried under some bits on there, the Winwick Mums West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas Socks Pattern Book. I really like this. It's a spiral bound book, so I can fold it back to help me keep my pattern flat, and just the patterns are lovely. There are 6 patterns in here, and I can't wait to have a go at knitting all of them. So that's my wool warehouse order. And then this is my loveliness. I had, my mum-in-law didn't know what to get me, well, either me or Simon for Christmas, so she gave us some cash, and I used my cash in the Knit Me Sane sale. So this is the card for Knit Me Sane. So this is the second lot of yarn I've ordered from her now, and I haven't been disappointed. So the first thing I ordered was mystery Christmas bag, because in the sale it was reduced to something like £4. I don't know if they have any left, but this is it. It's so beautiful, and it's not so Christmassy that I can't use it year round. It's got this gorgeous lining in it, which is sort of gold holly, and then this is just lovely drawstrings, just basic ribbon drawstring to close it. And well, I couldn't just buy that, could I? I had £20 to spend, so I treated myself to some more yarn. And oh, did I treat myself. Look at this beauty. Oh my goodness. I was scrolling through and through and through and through. There were so many beautiful colours. I kept coming back to this one. And as with all my other hand dyed yarns, I haven't got a clue what it's going to become yet, but I look forward to finding out. This is in the colourway Tiger King, and I don't know if you can tell. Can you see the sparkle? Just look at that sparkle. So this is a gold sparkle, and it's 5% gold stellina, 75% superwash, and 20% nylon. And you can't really feel the sparkle in there at all. Some sparkle yarns have a bit of a scratch to them. This doesn't have that at all. I just love. Let's just take that off a little for a second. Ooh. But just look at just the progression of that colour, from the orange to the blues, with the slightly undyed bit at the end. That is just heaven in a skein as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love it so much. So yeah, so this is Knit Me saying I will definitely be purchasing from her on a regular basis, just because the two skeins of yarn that I've had from her so far have just been stunning, absolutely stunning. And yes, so I'm hoping to do a yarn swap with a friend soon, and there's one or two things in there that might find its way to that friend. Also, I got some tea. So this is the English Tea Shop Red Cocoa Ginger. Not one I've tried. I've only recently started drinking herbal teas, so I look forward to trying that. Always up for trying new things. So that, I think, is everything, and I've probably been wittering on for ages again. So I am going to get myself a drink because I've talked myself hoarse, and get some knitting done. So yes, so this was Crochet Moments. If you want to message me, I will put my email below. I do like hearing from people. If you liked watching me, please subscribe. I've had a few new subscribers recently, so it's always nice seeing those numbers go up. And comments. I loved reading comments, and I try and answer every single one of them too. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.